You're live. Hi, everybody. Ah, oh, this is funny. All right. Welcome. Guard your privacy. Bye. Sorry, everybody, that I was late. Oh, I see people. There are people here. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. My name is Rich Kogelshots, and I'm with Heartland Builders. We happen to be in the wrong stream. I guess the way it was sorting our information, whatever happened, we were on the seminar for tomorrow, not today. So the way it was categorizing us, anyway. I'm here and you're here, so thank you very much for being here. Again, I'm Rich Kogelshots with Heartland Builders. I'm coming to you from my son's apartment. So we're going to have dinner after this. We're having some clams and linguine, I think. But in the meantime, before that, I'm going to talk about how to select your builder. So at Heartland Builders, this is not I should say this. This is not a presentation about Heartland Builders. This is not a presentation about how you should come to build with Rich Kogelshots. This is a general discussion about building a home. If we can offer anything to you after this with questions, or you can email me and I'll give you an address or anything like that. But I just want you to know this is not a sales presentation about Heartland Builders. I will talk about the way we do business because that's what I know, but I'll also try to talk about the way other builders do business that I know also. A little bit about us though, we are a custom builder. We are a scattered site custom builder, meaning I will build within a 1-hour radius of Grand Rapids. We do not own land. We do not have subdivisions. I do not build spec houses. Every home is a custom built on our client's land using their money for financing. The difference between me and an Eastbrook Builders or a Tibby Builders or a Sable Construction is they will build inside their developments on land and lots that they have developed. And you can go build the Heritage model or the Berkshire model or any of that type of stuff. So, but that's the difference of who they are and what it is that we do. So, for that. But going forward, let me see. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box, and I will be tending to that chat box for that. So on with the show. Number one way, how to select your builder. The number one way to select your builder is you select your builder based on philosophy, not based on price. Let me back up and say that again. You pick your builder based on philosophy, not based on price. What do I mean by that? If you say, well, I don't know if I have a philosophy, I would tell you that if you meet with 3 builders, you meet with 2 builders. After you meet with 1 builder, you're going to start to gather what your philosophy is, right? What your bias is, what you believe about home building, the style of home that you want, the character that you want for your home. You want a contemporary home. You want a green built home, a universal design home. Number one way you pick your builder is based on philosophy, not based on price. Okay. And again, what I said is that if after you meet with 1 or 2 builders, you meet with 3 builders, you're going to start to get an idea if your philosophy matches their philosophy. Okay. And you're going to start to see if you are aligned, philosophically with that builder. So number one way you pick your builder is based on philosophy, not based on price. The other reason I say that too is because, if you go to 3 different builders and you tell them that I want a 2,000 square foot ranch or a 1,600 square foot ranch or a 2,400 square foot 2-story, and they have the same specifications, generally speaking, the price is going to be fairly comparable, right? And that's the reason because is that while I may not use the same plumber that they use, my plumber uses the same wholesaler. We use the same lumber yards. We use the same electrical distributors, right? We all get our appliances from some certain place. There's not going to be that much difference when it comes to prices if you're talking to a builder and they have the same specifications from that standpoint. So now I will say this though. There are, I'll get to it. I'll get to that later. The second way that you choose your builder is you choose your builder by going to their website, right? By viewing their social media. And the reason why I think that is important is because go through the website, look at their social media, see what they're coming up with, and see what they're offering and just start reading about them and see if you like their homes and see if you like their style, see if you like the photographs, that are on their website. Is their photography professional? Is their design nice? The other thing though too, and I love this when people come into our website. I love it when people come to our office and they've already been to our website and they will start saying things from our website, and asking us questions based on what they read from our website. And the reason I like that is because they're holding us accountable, right? They want to hear the words from our mouth. They want to hold us accountable to what they read on our website, to what we're actually saying when we're in front of them and how passionately we say that, right? So I love the accountability that people bring to us when they have been on our website and they come talk to us and meet us in the office. So review the builder's website, read what they have to say, look at the quality of their work. Ooh, I like those lockers. Ooh, I like that kitchen. I like how they did the style of that home. Start looking at that, and that helps you form an opinion about that builder, right? First impressions come from website. First impressions come from social media in the world that we live in, right? As a custom builder, I used to say that 50% of our business came from referrals. Now the internet is so prolific that it's closer to probably 30%. We still get a lot of referrals from past clients, but everyone's shopping on the internet now, right? We answer the phones. Hey, how did you find us? Oh, I was doing a Google search, and stuff. And I was on Facebook or I was on some form of social media. So anyway, review that information, talk to the builder about it when you go there. Also, reviewing that website goes back to the first thing I said about you select your builder based on philosophy, not based on price. As you're going through that website, you're starting to gain philosophy, right, about your own and about what theirs is as well, right? And kind of what I will also say this, going to the third one, right? I got a whole list here, so I'm not just making it up as I go along, right? I got the third item on my list is you should choose your builder based on the price range, the average price range that you want to build in, right? So our average price is in the $400,000 range. We build homes in the $300,000 range, but we also build homes in the $600,000 range and higher, right? We have gone higher as well. But you choose your builder based on the price range that they operate in most of the time and are successful in, right? So there will be people who will call us in certain price ranges, and we will typically say to them, we don't think that we're the best builder for you. Maybe you should call ABC builders or XYZ builders based on, the price range. But know where you want to be. A lot of people will call us up and go, hey, what's your average cost per square foot of a house, right? And I automatically go, I don't mean to be disrespectful to you, but that's not the way that you choose your builder, by asking them their average cost per square foot, because that's a number that doesn't mean anything, right? But when you call up builders or when you're on their websites, you want to be honest about where you want to be at from a price range standpoint, right? If you want $1 million home, don't call a builder who builds $250,000 houses. And if you want a $250,000 house, don't call builders who build $1 million homes. They don't work together in the same range, okay, from that standpoint. And please, by the way, if you have questions, please interrupt me and ask something in the chat box. Otherwise, you're just going to listen to me go on and on and on. And I can do it, I promise you, for that. So number 3 was you choose your builder. This is how to select your builder. Number 3 is you choose builders based on price ranges that you want to be in and that they operate in. Okay. Number 4 on here is references. I think you should always get references. I think you should always ask a builder for references. It's important. And it's funny too, because like my wife and I have owned an apartment complex, and we actually ask for references if somebody wants to move into our apartment complex. And so that they're going to give you their mom and their friend, but you know what? Sometimes people are honest, right? References are honest most of the time, right? And so we're going to give you references if you ask them from us. And we can even give you questions of things that you should ask references, right? How are they on warranty? How were they on the price of their home that they gave you at the start of the project? And how was the price at the end of the project, right? All those things are important. Not only that, did they keep to the schedule of construction, right? Did they start your home when they said they would start your home? And through the construction process, right, how did the communication go? Did you move into your house on time, right? All of those things, and I can give you a list of reference questions that you should ask. And by the way, we only build new homes at Heartland Builders. We get a lot of calls for remodeling. We don't do that. We give people referrals of, hey, here's who we think you should call, for remodeling help. But the questions or the answers that I'm giving you, or the ideas that I'm giving you about how to select your builder applies to a new home builder or a remodeler as well, by the way, just so you know, for that. So, trying to click on a button here for that. So anyway, references, I think that they're important. You should also talk about how does your builder manage the process, right? So what is the process, right? The very first thing that you're going to do in the architectural design process is you got to have a plan. You have to have you have to have a blueprint, right? You got to have a house plan, right? How do you find a house plan? Well, at Heartland Builders, we're a design build firm, meaning we design, I'll say 98% of the houses that we build, but people do come to us with plans and we'll be happy to build off those plans. But how do you find a plan, right? Talk to your builder. I think you go to your builder first, and you don't have to have a plan to go to a builder. You can go to the builder and go, hey, builder, I want to build a house, but I don't have a plan. Where do I get started? You get started by going onto the internet. And if you were going into the internet and you were to Google house plans, 10,000 house plans would be in front of you. There's Design Basics, there's ePlans, there's homeplans.com, there's heartlandbuilders.com for plans. We have plans on our website. Find a plan, right? And what I would tell you is that there's no one plan that's going to be perfect for you. You're never going to go through any of those websites. You can look at 10,000 plans and not one of them will be perfect for you, right? That's why you're building a custom home. You're always going to modify that plan. But as you're going through the websites, looking at plans, just find plans that are close, right? We have people come into our offices and they bring 3 different plans. I like the kitchen in this plan, I like the mudroom in that plan, and I hate the owner's suite in this plan. Don't do this. We put them all together and we make one plan. So what I would say to you is don't worry about finding the perfect plan. Go to your builder, start talking to your builder about the plan that you want. And as a custom builder, you can modify our plans that are on our website in any way, shape, or form that you want to. You can use one of our plans. You can bring a different plan. There are some builders who have plans on our website that will not let you modify their plans. If you want this box and you want me to build it, this is what you get, right? They're more of a production style builder than a custom builder. It's not that they're wrong and it's not that they're right. They're just different. And again, philosophy, you have to find the right builder based on what you want for your home, okay? Easy to do, easy conversation to have. First thing you want to ask when you call up a builder or send them an email, whatever that looks like to you. But you got to come up with a plan the first thing, right? And I believe that you pick a builder who both designs plans and will build those plans. So being a design build firm, that way you can hold your builder accountable to the price of the blueprint or the price of the house plan, right? Because I will also say that we've had people who come to us with plans. Hey builder, here's my blueprint and my wedding ring, but there's my blueprint. I want you to build this house for me. And by the way, my budget is $350,000. They've already had the plan designed. They've had a plan designed by someone else. They come to us with a budget. We will price that house out. And there's times before where it's come out, they say their budget's $350,000. We price that house out and it's $500,000. We go back to them and I'm shaken because I have to say, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I know your budget's only $350,000, but we can't do this for less than $500,000. And then they say, yeah, another builder told me the exact same thing, right? So that's why I say you choose a builder who does a design build experience. They both design the house and they build the house at the same, after they're done designing it and stuff. Because there's price accountability. They're not going to let you go too far astray. But again, philosophy, it happens to us differently, where people will come to us with plans already designed by another person. So I want you to think about that. Do you want a design build firm, or do you want to go to an architect or an architectural designer? And we can talk about that later as well. So how does your builder manage the process? I just talked to you about getting a blueprint, right? After you get a blueprint, got to give you a price for the house. Then you're going to start your selections, right? Then you're going to decide, what that bifold door, that 2-panel door with the arch at the top, right? You want that. Again, I'm in my son's apartment because we're having dinner in 45 minutes with them, but I want the trim around the doors. I want laminate floors or carpet. I want what color paint I want on my walls. You got to make selections, right? You want to talk to your builder about how they manage the selections process, or how they manage you through the selections process, right? So at Heartland Builders, we have an interior designer on our staff, right? And why I say that is because I want you to talk to another builder. When you go to other builders, or a builder, excuse me, I want you to ask them, hey, how are you going to help me through the architectural design process? But how are you going to help me through this selections process, right? Because I got to pick out knobs. I got to pick out lights. I got to pick out flooring. And I got to pick out countertops. How do I do all that, right? You do all that with your builder, and you want to ask your builder how they're going to help you through that process, right? Because I can tell you that I've been building for 23 years. I've never built my own home without an interior designer. Your interior designer is not there to help you spend your money. They're there to help you manage your money, and they're there to help you with confidence in making your selections through the design process, right? So at Heartland Builders, I keep saying this, I've been building for 23 years. I've been in my current office for 4 years. In my office, I have a design center. I got faucets over here. I got carpet over there. I got tile back there. I have a design center, right? My design center is about 900 square feet, right? I want you to know, I think Eastbrook Builders Design Center is 4,000 square feet, right? I build about a dozen homes a year. Eastbrook builds 500 homes a year, right? So again, they're a different market. They're a different builder than I am. You got to decide what kind of builder that you want, and if you want to be in a development or you do not want to be in a development. But again, I'm here to talk to you about the selections process. I think you talk to a builder and you want them to have some kind of interior design, some kind of selections coordinator, someone to help you get through the process. So I just said to you, I've been in my building for the last 4 years where I have a design center. For 19 years, I never had a design center. I always had an interior designer helping my clients, but for 19 years, with my clients, we went to the flooring store, to the lighting store, to the countertop store, to the tile store, to the hardware store, to the plumbing store, to the flooring store, to the plumbing store, to the tile store. If you heard me, I said a couple of those more than once because we had to go back to them because a client changed their mind, right? So for 19 years, I took my clients around to my interior designer took my clients around to 6 different places during the building process, right? So you want to talk to your builder about how they manage the selections process. Do you want to run all over town picking stuff, or do you want a builder who has a design center, right? They're different, right? I can tell you a design center is faster for a client, but by the same token, but I don't have everything, right? I don't have 1,000 lights in my design center the way Kendall Lighting or Grand Rapids Lighting does, or some other lighting store. So it depends. If you want to go all these design centers to see everything, you have to think about time. You have to think about your budget. and you have to think about, are you going to be overwhelmed by stepping into Toys R Us or what feels like Toys R Us every time you go to a new design location? So think about who you are and what you want to have through that process. But again, it's how to select your builder. You select your builder based on, do they have architectural design services? But do they also have interior design selection services available to you? And I would tell you that I think your biggest commitment from a time standpoint is in the interior design selections, right? That to me is your biggest commitment to the building process, because you emotionally have to make a decision about, what's that carpet going to look like? Is it going to be blue or is it going to be green? It's probably going to be gray, a shade of gray. All right. If it was 8 years ago, it'd be a shade of tan. But nevertheless, that's your biggest commitment from a time standpoint, but also from an emotional standpoint. And I would tell you that in the 23 years that I've been in business, I've had 4 or 5 interior designers work for me. And the first thing that I always tell them is that you're an interior designer. I know that you know how to draw and that you know how to sketch. I know, because you have an interior design degree, that you know that pink goes with white and blue goes with white and tan goes with blue. I know that you know colors, and I know that you know style, and I know that you can sketch things. Your number one responsibility as an interior designer is that you are a marriage counselor, right? Because partners, husband and wife, significant others, they come into the design process and the selections process. And you as an interior designer need to make sure that everyone wins, right? Because Bill might not exactly like what Mary likes when it comes to the carpet, and Mary might not like exactly what Bill likes when it comes to the garage, but something else as well. And as an interior designer, you've got to make sure that everyone gets along and that everyone wins in the process, right? Because building a home, I will say this, if you don't think building a home is going to be a fun experience, I don't want you to do it. Building a home is supposed to be an enjoyable, fun experience. And that interior designer is like Julie McCoy of the Love Boat, right? If you remember the Love Boat, she's the cruise director. She was the cruise director. Your interior designer is the cruise director for your selections process. And you want to have a positive experience about that, because it's also a financial experience. You're making decisions about what your countertop is, and there's got to be a trade-off sometimes between, hey, is it going to be granite? Is it going to be quartz? Is it going to be Formica? Where is that going to come in at? And you want to have a solid interior designer and a selections coordinator to help you through that process. So again, we're in how to select your builder. One of those things is, do they have an architectural design process? Do they have an interior design process, and what that feels like for you? So, but now that we're through that, now we're into the building process, right? We've got a blueprint. We've made all of our selections. We're going into the building process. Typically, though, I will say this, after your selections, before you're building, you got to think about financing, right? You got to think about financing. So, but I'm not a banker and I don't provide financing. I will tell you, though, that there are some builders, again, I'm a custom builder, so my clients go to a bank and get financing for their home, right? Either that, I can't tell you, trying to read somebody's message, but anyway, I don't provide financing. Some builders do provide financing, right? You could give them a $2,500 deposit and they would start all this process for you. They'd probably acquire a little bit more deposit. They break ground on your house. You don't take possession or give them any more money till the very end. That's when your financing comes in. With me being a custom builder, again, I'm going to use your financing to build your house, right? So I would tell you about 30% of our clients actually pay cash for their house, right? Here's your $400,000, Mr. Heartland Builders. Go build me a house. It's a little more formal than that, but that's the point. But, that's the gist of it. But most of them get financing, right? So once their finance is complete, we start building their house, right? Typically, a custom home for us is going to take about 5.5 months to build a house. If you want to finish the basement, the lower level, it's going to take another 30 days. So about 6.5 months. So if you're building a home with us and it's anywhere from the $400,000 to $500,000 range, you can plan on a 5.5 to 6.5 month building process. You know, you start getting in the $900,000 range to the $1 million range, it's going to be, you know, 7 to 8 month, 9 month process, you know, depending on what that looks like. Okay, from that standpoint. So anyway, that's the managing the building process. We've got 5 meetings with our clients during the course of construction. We meet with them at the site to talk about the placement of their home at the site. We meet with them after the house is framed, but before plumbing, heating, and electrical. That's meeting number 2. It's the rough-in walkthrough, we call it. Again, after framing, we go through the house, we take the electrical plan, and we walk into every room, and we go, aha, light's got to be centered there. I'm going to have an outlet here because this is my bed. And if we're in the living room, this is where the floor outlet's going to go because the TV is going to be right there. And is the TV above the fireplace or is the TV next to the fireplace? Wherever that is at. For that, okay? So that's the second meeting. The third meeting, we have a trim walkthrough. Our trim carpenter is there with us, and we just walk through the house. The drywall's up, right? So now the house feels a little bit different because drywall's everywhere, and it actually feels larger, by the way. When the drywall goes on, you would think that it would feel smaller in closing the house in. It actually feels bigger, right? Because your depth perception changes. So we walk through the house after the drywall is up while the trim contractor is there. And we're just kind of walking through the house going, hey, remember, it's going to be white painted trim, or it's nope, that staircase is going to be stained, or that's a metal stair rail. And this is what the lockers are going to look like right there. We just walk through the house. Hardware is going to go on the cabinets like this. We just kind of walk through the house together. It's probably a 45-minute meeting, hour, something along those lines. It's a validation meeting. It's a checking in meeting is really what it is, okay, from that standpoint. So that's the third meeting during the construction process. The fourth meeting comes about 2 weeks before our clients are going to move into the house. We walk through the house together, right? We open doors, we close doors. Really, it's a punch list meeting. And we talk about, hey, you're going to move in 2 weeks from now, 10 days to 2 weeks, something like that. This is where the house is going to be at. It's going to be done. That's the important thing. It's going to be done. But we want to walk through that house together, okay? And not only are we walking through the kitchen together and walking through bedrooms together, walking outside together, we're also going downstairs, typically, downstairs to the mechanical room. Right? And we're going to show you how your furnace operates, right? We're going to show you this is your humidifier, right? This is how you change the filter on your humidifier, right? And then we're also going to look up, because we've labeled all the gas valves and we labeled your shutoffs for your outdoor faucets. We're just going to walk around your mechanical room and talk about how your house operates, right? That's the fourth meeting. The fifth meeting, right, is the day you're moving in. Right? We have a checklist. You sign off on your house saying, this house is awesome. It is finished. And we talk about humidity, making sure you control the humidity in your house. We talk about making sure, ice melt or salt. Don't put salt on concrete, right? We talk about disconnecting your hose, right, in the fall so it doesn't freeze, right? The water doesn't freeze. But we just kind of talk about your house. But really, we also have a ribbon cutting ceremony. Edward Scissorhands. I need Edward Scissors. We have a ribbon cutting ceremony, right? So you're moving into your house. It's a celebration, and all of that type of stuff. So that's the 5 meetings during the building process that we have with our clients, right? So I'm here to talk about how to select your builder. And now I'm on number 6, right? Number 6 is, what technology does the builder use to support the client? Everybody's big on technology, not everybody. But what technology is the builder going to use to support the client, right? So you want to ask your builder, how are they going to design your homes? How is that blueprint going to be designed? Are they going to use a 3D software like Chief Architect or Soft Plan? Are they going to use CAD? Are you going to be able to see your home in 3D, right? So we design our homes using a 3D software. So our clients actually sit during the design process with us, and we show them their home in 3D. That house is spinning around. We're changing cabinets. We're changing windows, and they're sitting right there. So architectural design, what software are they going to use? But then during the design process, during the selections process, during the building process, we also use a software called Co-Construct. Co, construct. And it's a software that allows our clients to actually go in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and actually look at the selections. You can actually make selections in Co-Construct as well. We've got 30 faucets in there. We've got a bunch of sinks. We got toilets. We got lockers. We got doors, right? So we use a software called Co-Construct, and a lot of other builders use Co-Construct as well. So you want to ask, what kind of selection software do you use? Another software that you might hear of is Builder Trend. And I think they can make that be one word, but Builder Trend is another software. Co-Construct and Builder Trend are very comparable to each other. A lot of builders will use those softwares. You want to ask about that because it makes the building process be easy. We also, just so you know, we put our schedule of construction online as well. So once we've started, actually midway through the framing process, we release our schedule of construction to our clients. So our clients can actually see who's going to be at their house on any given day throughout the construction process, right? And so, hey, the painter's show is going to be there today. What's nice about that, when you go into that schedule, right? And if I go back to that and say, oh, I've gone into the schedule and the painter is supposed to show up at our house today. When you go to that house and you actually see that the painter was there on the day that their schedule says, that gives you confidence that your house is on schedule, right? And that your builder is managing your home the way they said they would. I hear these sometimes in the past, in the non-COVID years, when I would be speaking at the remodeling a new home show, I would have people come up to me and talk to me about their building experience, right? And they would say, oh, my builder was never there. My house never got built. It was never on schedule. Well, through this software, we allow our clients to actually see the schedule of construction, and we manage that schedule intensively. And so you always know where you're at in this construction process. And again, this is how to select your builder. And so I want you asking your builder about the schedule of construction, right? And how they manage that. Ours is online, and lots of builders may put theirs online as well, but I want you asking that question, right? Number 7 in the builder process, by the way, there's 10, just so you know if you're keeping score at home. We're on number 7, and there's 10, right? Go see their work. I want you to go see the builder's work. The Parade of Homes happens every spring. Happened this summer because of COVID, but it's going to be this spring, right? And it happens in the fall, right? But what if you want to go see homes and it's not Parade of Homes time? Call us up. We'll take you to one of our homes. Eastbrook Builders, Tibby, Sable, lots of other builders have model homes that you can go tour. As a custom builder, I do not. I'm going to take you to a house that I'm actually building for someone else right now, right? But I can show you the work that we do, and I think that you should go see that work, right? And not only that, I think that when you're at those homes, I want you asking questions. Hey, that trim, is that going to be my trim? There's no trim on that door, by the way, because it's my son's apartment, right? If you're following at home. But that door, is that going to be my door? Is that trim? What about and I want you looking, right? One of the things I want you looking for is fit and finish. I want you to open doors and drawers, right? I want you to close doors that go into the bedroom, right? And I want you to see, does the knob close? Does the door lock? I want you looking up at that paint line at the ceiling, between the wall and the ceiling. I want you looking at that paint line to see if it's clean and straight across, right? I want you to have that, that eye for detail, right? But when you're going through that home, I just want you asking questions. Is this what mine's going to be like? Is that how mine's going to feel? What's that all going to be? Tell me about the process. So anyway, go see the builder's work. That's number 7. Number 8, always use a member of the Home Builders Association, right? I believe that you always hire a professional, right? And one of the ways someone demonstrates being a professional is they are a member of their local Home Builders Association, right? I believe that as a professional, you have to support the industry that supports you, right? Now, I drank a little too much of that Kool-Aid. I was president of the Home Builders Association of Greater Grand Rapids in 2009 and 2010, and I was the president of the Home Builders Association for the state of Michigan in 2014, right? I believe that you have to support the industry that supports you as well as the community that supports you. But you know what? It's the dues to be a member of the HBA is $600. But I have met some of the best people and the best trade contractors through networking at the Home Builders Association. They offer classes, they offer training, they offer networking, and I believe you hire a member that belongs to the HBA. And then I will tell you that after that, number 9 is the financials. How are they going to manage your money financially, right? That is, how much money are they going to give you for a deposit? Where is the financing going to come for building your home? And then how are they going to manage the money during the construction process, right? The sworn statements, right? A sworn statement is nothing more than an Excel spreadsheet that lists out, these are all the people who are going to be working in the house, and this is how much money I'm going to pay them, right? To build your house, right? And so are you going to get copies of the sworn statement? Like, we pay bills every 30 days, right? And so we go to your bank every 30 days to get your money, right? But when we do that, we also tell you exactly how much money we're getting from the bank, right? So you're always involved in that process. You always know what that's going to look like. You always know where you're going to be at financially in this process. The last thing I'll say about that, because I got to get off soon, because I think there's a time limit here, is that change orders, right? I hear horror stories about change orders. Change orders should always be in writing, right? You should never have your builder change anything unless they put it in writing in advance of doing it and giving you the price to do it before they do the work. Change orders. Again, number 1 are in writing. Number 2, you always approve them prior to doing the work. And number 3, you know how much that work is going to cost, right? That's the most important thing. And then the last thing, number 10, about how to select your builder. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, do you like the person? Right? I've just told you 9 things that intellectually you need to think about before you hire a builder. 9 things that you need to think about with your head in the selections process. But number 10, I want you to use your heart, right? Do you like the builder? Do you trust the builder? Number 1, you pick your builder based on philosophy. Number 10, you get to pick your builder based on who you like. Right? Because just like your banker, just like where you bought your car, just like who you go to the dentist, right? I want you to like the person that you do business with, because you're going to spend 6 months in the design process, the selections process. Then I'm going to build your house and it takes 6 months. You're going to spend a year with me, but then you got to get a warranty from that builder as well. So you're really going to spend 2 years with me. And then because I'm a loyal, faithful person and you like me, you're going to spend your rest of your life with me, because if something goes wrong in your house, you're not just going to call me a year from now. You're going to call me 5 years from now and go, hey, Rich, do you know what paint colors we used? Even though we give you a binder with all of that information in it, you still want to have a relationship with that builder. So you want to pick your builder. You want to pick someone that you like and someone that you trust, right? And so that's always very important. So I tell people, builders like pizza places. There's 5 pizza places within 10 miles of your house. They all have pizza. They all have pepperoni, or they all have crust. They all have pepperoni. They all have cheese, and they all have sauce. So why do you always keep going to one? Because that's the one that you like, and that's how you select your builder. You select your builder based on who you like and who you trust. So that's my presentation. I don't see a lot of questions. In fact, I don't see any questions. I do see that there are potentially 4 people in this presentation with me, or in this seminar or live chat with me. So please feel free to ask any questions if you would like. I can just keep going on about lots of things about how to find. Hey, I'll ask a few questions if you don't mind answering, or I'll just keep asking questions. Does anybody want to know about how to find the right site for your home? How to find the right land for your home? If you do, I can answer that question, right? I can talk about land, because I will tell you what, the number one most important piece of advice I can give to somebody in the building process: never, ever buy a piece of land without having a builder come out and look at that land before you buy it, right? Before you buy it, I want you to talk to a builder about buying it. Now, I will tell you, we preach that all the time. And I would still say that 50% of people come to us with land. But then I will tell you, 50% of those people come to us with a land that is a problem, right? It's clay, it's a mound system, it's a swamp, it's 2,000 feet back where they want to build, and it's going to be expensive. The reason that I want you to always have a builder look at that land before you buy it is because I want that builder to help you determine what the cost is to improve the land. What's the cost going to be to get the land into a buildable state for you? How much is it going to cost to get electric back there, gas back there? Is it well? Is it septic? Is it water? Is it sewer? Is the sewer on the other side of the road and we got to spend $15,000 to bring it to the other side of the road? I want you to I always tell people, I want you to buy your opportunity, not somebody else's problem, right? So let's evaluate that land before you buy it to make sure that it's the right opportunity for you and it comes at the right price, right? I've had people buy land that is really expensive to buy. It's really expensive to build on. It's on top of a mountain. We got to clear $15,000 worth of trees. I got to put in a septic system that's $15,000 more than what they want it to be. As long as you know all that before you buy the land, that's fine. You've made an intelligent decision, right? I don't want you to find out about it after you bought the land and now you've got to take money out of the house because you got to clear more trees or that driveway's got to be longer, all of that other type of stuff. So the number one piece of advice that I can give to anyone in the building process is always have a builder come out and look at that land before you buy land, okay? Does anybody want to know about financing? If you want to know about financing, say something down there in the chat box, right? Because I will tell you this, in order to get financing, you need three things from me as your builder, right? You need a contract with your builder. You need a blueprint. And number three, you need your selections, right? But in order to get financing, in order to go to the bank, right, you need three things. You need a contract with the builder, you need a blueprint, and you need to know what your selections are that are going to go in your home. And then when you go to the bank, right, that's when you're going to sign all the paperwork. And that's when they're going to send an appraiser out there to evaluate your land and all of that other type of stuff, right? So if you need information about lenders, we can give you some names of lenders to talk to. We don't have I don't have a formal relationship with them. I just know bakers who do a good job and lenders who do a good job. I never know about your credit worthiness. I never know what your salary is. I never know how much money you make. All I know is you're bringing me money from a bank, or you're bringing me, the ability to get a bank loan from the bank, right? And stuff. So anyway, that's about financing. And we can talk about that more if you want to. Ooh, the second most important thing that I can tell you, always 100% of the time, you always make your selections before you break ground. Before you break ground. And this is a philosophy thing, and lots of builders are different. And most of my friends are builders, and most of them aren't very smart. And the reason why I say that is because we require our clients to make all their selections before we break ground. Why do we do that? We do that because I want you to know how much your house is going to cost before we break ground. If you break ground and you haven't picked out your countertops and you haven't picked out your tile and you haven't picked out your lights, you don't know how much your house is going to cost before you break ground. And so from a client standpoint, it is in your best interest, right? It is in your emotional interest and it is in your financial best interest to make all of your selections before you break ground. That way, you know how much your house is going to cost before you break ground, okay? And now, most of my builder friends don't require that. Why don't they require that? Because they just want to get started, man. They want to get started building your house, right? Let's get going, and I'll just ask you a bunch of questions as we're going along during the building process. What that also does, though, is that puts a lot of stress on you. Because if that builder calls you up and go, hey, Mary Jane, just so you know, the electrician's going to be there a week from Tuesday. You got to go pick out all your lights. Now, all of a sudden, you're running around going to pick out all your lights, because that builder's showing up, or that electrician's showing up in 2 weeks, and you got to get those lights installed. Why put yourself under that pressure? That is not good client management. It's not sound financial management. It's not sound emotional management. So anyway, from your standpoint, make all your selections before you break ground. It is the second best piece of advice that I can give you. The third piece of advice that I can give you, and I've already given it to you, is I think you always choose a builder who has an interior designer on staff, right? And if they're not a licensed, or if they're not a degreed interior designer, someone who's a selections coordinator, someone who's got skill, someone who's got style, and someone who can help you through the selections process is going to be very, very important to you. Because again, they're there to help you manage your money, but they're there to help you emotionally as well, to feel confident that this wall color is going to go with this flooring, right? And that maybe, the room size is going to fit your dining room table, and that light is going to be centered, right over that table. They're there to help you manage your way through that process. And so our interior designer is on staff. You want to also ask that builder, am I paying more for that interior designer? Because you're not paying more for that interior designer through Heartland builders, and you're not paying more for that interior designer through lots of other builders as well. But some builders I do know can provide you with that service, but you're going to pay more for that service on top of your house. Question to ask, right? Because again, if I go back to this, the way I started this presentation, you're picking your builder, how to select your builder. The number one reason is you've picked your builder based on philosophy, not based on price. That's a philosophy. All right. So there's that. Let's see. What else can I tell you about the building process? I told you about the architectural design process. Let's talk about cost per square foot. If you're sticking with me, there's 4 people that are in this chat room supposedly. So if you're still sticking with me, I'm still talking, right? So I'll get to my shrimp and linguine stuff later on, right? But hey, so we put together a document called Fair and Square, and it's really about understanding your costs per square foot. We have lots of people who will call us up and go, hey, builder dude, what's your average cost per square foot? And I'll go, that's not the best way to evaluate builders, because inside the cost per square foot, I can have a septic system that costs $5,000, and I can have a septic system that costs $15,000. I can have a 3-stall garage, or I can have a 2-stall garage. I can have a 2-story, or I can have a ranch. I can have a 2,000-foot driveway, or I can have a 50-foot driveway. So calling up builders and going, hey, what's your average cost per square foot? It's not a valid relationship to evaluate builders, right? So what we did is we came up with this document to help people, of understanding what your cost per square foot is. And the reason that we did that is you see that over here is a ranch, and over here is a 2-story. A 2-story is always going to be less expensive on a cost per square foot than what a ranch is, because it's always less expensive to go up than it is to go out, right? This foundation is wider and more foundation. There's more trusses up here. This house, because it goes up, has a lesser foundation and has fewer trusses. So on the front end, a ranch is always going to be more expensive than a 2-story on a cost per square foot basis. All right. So I will just tell you this, though. In the construction of a house, and you can't see this very well, but I will tell you that your structure is always going to be somewhere between 65 and 75, or 65 and 70% of the total cost of your house is in the structure, right? Is in the structure. What's the structure? The exterior of your house. I also put plumbing, heating, and electrical in the structure as well, because you have to have them. They're mechanicals. Your plumbing, heating, electrical is somewhere going to be about 15% of the total cost of the house. But I grouped it under structure just to kind of make this be easy, right? And then your interior, which is your drywall, your insulation, and your paints, right? But those things right there, your exterior, your plumbing, heating, electrical, and your interior is going to make up about 65 to 70% of the total cost of your house, right? Your site. Your site is going to be anywhere from 15 to 20%. And I don't mean the cost of your land. I mean the site improvement cost, your well and your septic and all of those things, the length of your driveway, right? The number of trees that are on your property. The site improvement costs are going to be between 15 and 20% of the total cost of your house, okay? So what I want to say about that is I've just told you that your structure is 70% of the total cost of your house. I've also just told you that your structure is your site improvement costs are 15 to 20% of the total cost of your house. So if we do the math, right, and I had to cheat on my girlfriend in high school to get through math class, but I married her just to show you how smart I am, right? So 70% plus 15% is 85%. You add another 5% of that. Now I'm at 90% of the total cost of your house is in your structure and is in your site improvement cost. So what's left? About another 10 to 15% is what's left in the cost of your house. That's going to be your countertops. That's going to be your cabinets. That's going to be your light fixtures, right? So what's interesting about that is people will come to us with all these beautiful pictures of what they want in their home. I want my kitchen to look like this. I want my countertop to be quartz or granite or formica. I want this beautiful shower, and I want these great looking lights. That's what people show us in the building process a lot of times. That's only 10% to 15% of the total cost of your house. 80 to 90% of it is in the structure and in the site improvement costs, right? So when we talk to clients about understanding the cost per square foot of your house and making sure you understand where the costs go in your house, this is what we talk about with them, just to make sure. It's not rocket science. There's no big information in here. But when people call us up and go, hey, builder dude, what's your average cost per square foot? We want to have a conversation about what that really is so that you're comparing builders. Because again, how to select your builder. Number 3 was you select your builder based on do they build in the price range of homes with which you typically build in, right? And stuff like that. So part of that is understanding cost to make sure that you're understanding questions. So none of this is rocket science. If I made it sound like rocket science, I apologize for that. Building a home should be fun and it should be easy. And if you don't think it's going to be fun, I want you to really challenge yourself whether it's going to be the right experience for you. And you should be talking to builders about whether or not it's going to be fun as well, right? And it should be easy. You're going to choose a builder who's got a streamlined process, right? Because this is not what you do every day, but this is what the builder does every day. And it should be an easy process for you. So with that, I'm coming up on 53 minutes. I think that you probably need a break from me. If you don't need a break from me and you want me to keep talking, then you got to put something in the chat, right? Otherwise, I think I need to abide by my dinner requirements, as well as the fact that I think this is supposed to be a 45-minute presentation. Again, if I don't see anything in the say something, I just want to thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. Thank you for supporting ShowSpan and all the great work that they do. I tell you, they do fantastic shows, and the remodeling and new home show in 2022, I am confident is going to be awesome because it was awesome in 2019. So again, we're at Heartland Builders. You can find us at heartlandbuilders.com. And if you click on the Ask Cindy, Cindy is my wife, by the way, and she is awesome. If you ask Cindy, she is always very good at responding to questions. You can call our office at 616-205-5430. But I will tell you also, if you call us, You can ask us a question about anything that you want to. We'll be honest, we'll be straightforward. You can even tell us that, hey, I'm working with another builder. What do you think about something? Now, I'm going to be respectful of that other builder, I will tell you that, but I don't want you to feel like you can't reach out to us and ask us questions, even if you're not going to build with us. We will give you an honest and fair answer, whether you choose to build with us or want to build with us or not. I just want you to have a positive experience, no matter who you choose to build with. And I hope that this presentation has been helpful to you, and good luck with your building experience. And again, claps and kudos to ShowSpan for putting this on. Thank you guys. Have a good night.